Hi everybody, I'm Savanan here. Yeah, welcome to all. So, can you able to hear me now? I think I will be audible and I can see my screen. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, welcome to BSAP Technology Awareness Program. So, today we are going to see IBM Cognos BA reporting. So, this is a demo session for IBM Cognos BA reporting. So, what are the topics? What are the things that we will be covering in this session will be explained. So, myself is Saravanan. I have around 13 years of experience, out of which 11 years of experience in Cognos BA report development. I've been working from ReportNet 1.1 to 10.2, now 10.2.2 versions for the past 11 years. So I'm a report developer and a project lead, and also I'm parallelly doing this training sessions. That is this thing about me. Okay. So let me go into the topics. So it will take another 45 minutes to 1 hour to go through the syllabus or contents that we are going to discuss during the regular sessions. Okay. So this is IBM Cognos BA reporting. Okay. So let me go to the next slide. Okay. So what is the prerequisite? So in order to learn this Cognos tool, what are the basic requirements? So the basic requirement is having some idea in the database and data warehouse. So that is the area. So a person who knows the basic database and data warehouse, that is enough for coming into this training and learning the things. So since we are always dealing with data, we need to know something about the basic database and data warehouse concepts. That is the prerequisite. So on completing this course, what will be your question? What you can do? So on completing the course, you can do a report development. You can be a report developer. You can be a report author. You can say report developer or report author. And you can be like a business analyst. So a business analyst who will get the requirement from the customer. Normally, in on-site offshore model, what the business analyst will do, he will not be completely involved in all the technical or creating the reports. He will be getting the requirement, able to convince the customer to what are the things we can do in Cognos, all those things. It can be a business analyst. So these are the things that you can assume that after completing this course, you can do those things. Okay. So the first part is introduction. So first part of our thing is introduction. In the introduction, we will be covering all these 4 points. So introduction to basic SQL. So since we are dealing with database, we are going to create reports from the existing data. So we need to know how to handle the data. So we are not going to modify. Most of the time, we are not going to modify or update the data. We are most of the time going to retrieve the existing data from the data warehouse or database. So we need to know what is some concept like what is a join, what is inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join, a union, what is intersection. So those type of things we need to know, the basic things we need to know. So that will be covering the basic SQL. Then comes data warehousing overview. So here what we will see is overview of data warehousing. What is a data warehouse? Why we need to go for a data warehouse? What is the benefit? And some terminologies like what is a dimension, what is a fact, what is a measure, what is OLTP, OLAP, star schema, snowflake schema, storage chaining, all these concepts, all those things, all the theory parts and basic things in data warehousing will be covered in the data warehousing overview. Then we will go to business intelligence overview. So how our report is used for the business to make the business more good. So the importance of our report or our usage of our report. So what we are going to do is we are finally going to create a report to the customer so that using that report, the customer will try to improve their business. So we will see where our report will be useful, what is the usage of our report. So since we know those things, then only it will be easy for us to make an appropriate and user-friendly and correct report to the customer. So business intelligence overview, in which scenarios our report will help the customers on those things. Then we will come to Cognos. So these are the general topics: introduction, data, business intelligence overview, and the generic concepts. Then we will come to Cognos architecture and the overview. So what is there in Cognos? So how the Cognos architecture is there? All those things will be seen in the introduction session. Okay. Then we will go to the next. So in our course, we are going to cover all these topics. So we are going to cover Cognos Connection, Query Studio, Report Studio. So Report Studio more in detail. So Report Studio is the place where we can create more complex reports and reports. So we will cover more things. We will spend more time in Report Studio. We will cover Framework Manager, Analysis Studio, Evil Studio, Workspace, and Workspace Advanced. Okay. So out of this 8 topics, Workspace and Workspace Advanced are the new things that we have in Cognos 10 series. It's not a new thing. After Cognos was acquired by IBM, IBM have done a lot of changes and improvements, and they have introduced Workspace and Workspace Advanced to create dashboards, all those advanced features and user-friendly screens, all those things. So Workspace and Workspace Advanced are the new features. Query Studio, Analysis Studio, Evil Studio are the smart. You can say that in future and long-term thing, IBM will be trying to eliminate this Query Studio, Analysis Studio, Evil Studio, and they will bring up the new concepts like Workspace and Workspace Advanced. So we will see all the things. We will see in the Query Studio, Evil Studio, Analysis Studio, and also the new things in Workspace and Workspace Advanced. All the things. Okay. These are the topics that we are going to cover. Okay. So what are the things we are going to cover in Cognos Connection? Okay. So in order to work in Cognos Connection, we need to have the software installed in your system. So these introductions, everything will be a theory. Everything will be theory. You will see the PowerPoint presentation, and you will go to the database if required, and we will do some Excel. This will be theory. So after this, when we go to Cognos, I will not go through the PowerPoint presentation or some other theory concepts. Directly we will go into the tool, and we will start. I will start working. I will start explaining the things in the tool. So Cognos Connection. So in order to have Cognos Connection, Cognos in your system, you need to install Cognos in your system. So I will share the software with you during the introduction session, and you can install it in your system. The minimum configuration to install the Cognos software is, it's the trial version, the version that I have is Windows operating system with 64-bit operating system with minimum 4 GB of RAM. So most of the things, so it is a Windows, it will work only in this version that what I am having is will work only in Windows operating system with 64-bit operating system. So that is the basic thing. So we will install software, and it will be also in your system and also in my system. So I can show what are the things I can do in Cognos too. Okay. So this is first thing is Cognos Connection. So Cognos Connection, it is not a very big or very logically complex things. It's a very easy tool. So for example, I will show you the screens. So this is a Cognos Connection window. So this is the place where we land in when we log into Cognos. So when we log into Cognos, we will go to Cognos Connection. Just a minute, I'm refreshing the page. So we will go to Cognos Connection where we can find all the folders, files. We can do a view of the folder in different ways. We can create, we can run the report, all those things. It is like normally, for example, like compare it directly with it's not a right comparison, but I'm just saying it. It's like a Windows. In Windows, you can create folders, files. You can rename the folder. You can move the folder from one place to another. We can change the icon. We can change the background color. Customize the theme, all those things. So likewise, Cognos Connection is a place where when we log into Cognos, this will be the Cognos Connection page. From where we can go to different folders, and we can create a folder, you can create a report. You can go to multiple. From here we will go to all the tools, Cognos Connection, Workspace, Advanced, Report Studio, all the places. Okay, this is a, we will see all those things here. So we have some public folders and my folders, which is similar to my documents in the Windows, something like that. So where only the particular user can see his document and public documents will be in other places. So we will see how to personalize our Cognos connection, how to manage the portal, how to create a shortcut, how to create a view of the report, existing report, how to create a customized page. So the customer needs, I want a different type of page and different customized page, how to create those things, how to configure the configuration links of the content store, and connecting different data sources. The database will be there and multiple database will be there, means then how to connect to different data sources. And normally in an environment, we will have three types of environment: test environment, that is a development environment, test environment, and production environment. So once the reports are developed in development environment, we need to move it to the test and then to production. So that we say it's a deployment. So we will export the reports from development environment, and then we will import the reports from reports in test environment. So those type of deployment, what is the deployment, you will see all those things here. So running the report, how to schedule the report, and periodic manner, weekly, monthly schedule, all those things. And we will also cover the basic Cognos administration. So as a report developer, we need to have some knowledge about Cognos administration also. How to create a data source, how to do things in Cognos administration. So basic administration, Cognos administration will also be covered in this Cognos Connection tab. Okay. So next we will go to next we will go to Query Studio. So Query Studio, the purpose of Query Studio is IBM and Cognos have created Query Studio so that the end user can create their own reports. So as a report author, as a report developer, we are not required to create this report. The end user, for example, if there is a sales team, the final sales representative or salesperson who is not a Cognos professional, who is not a Cognos developer, so he can create his own report. So it is in such a way, designed in such a way that easily you can create the reports. So the end user will be finding it easy to create their own reports. We used to say that this is an ad hoc report, ad hoc or simple reports. So we will see how to create an ad hoc or simple report. Normally the report will be major division of the report will be three types: a list report, cross-chart report, and charts. There will be different type of charts. So we will combine list and cross-chart. Also, what are the types of reports? All those things we will cover in this place. So applying filters, how to get the input from the user, that is a prompt, sorting, grouping, run and manage the report. So how to manage the existing report, or after creating the report, how to manage it. And since it is a very easy place where the end user can create the reports, complex things cannot be done in Query Studio. We have some limitations in Query Studio. Complex logic cannot be implemented in Query Studio. So that is the limitations. What are the limitations we have? And for example, the end customer starts creating the report. At one point of time, most of the time what the customer will do is he will not be able to complete the report. So he will again come to us. He will again come to us, and we need to help them to complete the report. All those things. So in order to implement the complex logic, Query Studio will have some limitations, and this can be done only in Report Studio. So what we can do is we can convert the existing report to Query Studio report to Report Studio report, and we can implement the complex logic. So those type of things can be. We will see all the things in Query Studio. So then we will go to next topic, Report Studio. So Report Studio is a place. It is our place. So the Report Studio is a place where we most of the time work. So this report studio helps us to create complex reports. All type of reports. Most of the thing, all the things can be achieved in report studio. So out of my experience, around 85% of my time I have spent only in report studio and framework manager. So report studio is the most important thing. So if you understand report studio, if you know report studio, then query studio is a smaller part of report studio. So if you know report studio, then you can easily do things in query studio. You can easily do things in analyst studio and event studio. So all these things are very simple. Report studio is the major thing that a report author should know, where we create some professional report development. Okay, so we have a lot of things in the report studio. Let me open report studio and show the screen for an idea. So I need to go to launch and report studio. So when we install Cognos, there will be a trial version, and there will be a sample packages and sample database. Everything will be there. So it will be very easy. So IBM has given this for our learning purpose. So we can use these packages for our learning purpose, for understanding the tool. So just report studio is opening. Just for an idea, I'm showing the screen. So I have different options where I can create different type of reports, list report, cross-site report, charts, all those things. So this is the place, this is the user interface of the report studio. So we can create reports easily in report studio. So for example, okay. So we will create a list report, cross-tab report, chart reports. We will also see something, one is called repeater, how to use it, and which situation we use it. So all the formatting. So report is not only, the main thing is that we need to provide the output in the report with accurate data. That is the main thing. Another thing is presentation. So, okay. So Amit has asked me to create a simple report. Just what I will do is, so this is a report studio window. So for example, I can create a simple report. So this is the package. The left side you can see now. This is the package that is created using Framework Manager. You will also see Framework Manager. So using this package, we can create the report. So let me just create a simple report. So it is assumed that I'm going to create a revenue report based on product. So there is a product line. Just I'm dragging and dropping. That's it. Cognos will write query for me. So I don't want to write any SQL, anything. Cognos will automatically generate the SQL, and when I run the report, this SQL will hit the database and get the data and will present the data in whatever way I have formatted. So just assume that I have a product line and product type, and I need to, these are the dimensions, and I need to take the measure, maybe a revenue. So this is a simple report, it's a very common report. Just if I run the report, I will get the output. So I'm getting an output. So I can see the product line values, the product line, product type, and revenue, all those things. I can do formatting. So if I want, I can just group it. I can group it for the report, group it, and I can make the decimal number of decimal place to 0. Yeah, can we write our own SQL? Yeah, we can also write. Okay, so let me. So when I create a report, Cognos creates that query for me. So if you see the query explorer, Cognos creates a query for me. So here automatically when I drag the particular data items, it will automatically create the data items. So I have also options to create my own SQL. So here, for example, I can drag SQL is there. Just I can drag the SQL. For example, in some scenarios, the customer will be already having some SQL. He will be having some SQL. He will run the SQL and get the output and do the things here. So he want to use the same SQL. In that case, what we can do is we can get the SQL from the customer. We can directly drag the SQL here. We can open the SQL and we can write our SQL. Whatever it is, we can write a SQL. Whatever table it is, okay. Just so we can validate it, and we can. And when we write the SQL, all the columns will be coming into the query. So this will directly hit the database. When I write a direct SQL, this will directly hit the database, get the data, and it will display the report output in whatever format I have created. Maybe in a list report or a chart report or a raster report. So when we write a normal, when I create a normal report using a package means, it will go through the framework manager. So SQL will directly bypass the framework manager and directly hit the database. Okay. So in some scenario, writing SQL by ourselves in Report Studio is not a best practice because the maintenance cost will be high. For example, if I want to update anything, means after some time, after a few months, if I want to input something, means then we need to go into the SQL and we need to we can update the query and all the logic. But doing things in framework manager package and creating the report using the package is more easy for maintenance. It's the process. It's the process, normal process we follow. That is the thing. So we can also do reports, create reports using SQL, writing direct SQL also. You can join, for example, you can see here. You can do multiple things. Maybe it is not the right place where I can explain all the things. During sessions, I will explain all those things. So we can do a union, we can do a join, intersection, we can do expert, SQL. So union, join, intersection, all those things concept we can implement, and we can create complex and a report which can produce the required output. Okay, so this is the Report Studio screen. So here we will be seeing type of prompts. So there are different types of prompts. So prompts means getting input from the user. You can get the input from the user. A single select, multi-select, search and select, different type of prompts. Yeah. So the database can be anything. So Cognos can connect to SQL Server, Cognos can connect to Oracle, so Cognos can connect to Informix, DB2, Teradata. So the database or data warehouse can be anything. So we need to create a data source connection. So through data source connection, we can connect Cognos to any database. So it can be SQL Server or thing. Normally, most of the thing they will use in SQL Server and Oracle. I have done projects using SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata, DB2. So in the version what right now I have is it is Informix. So there is no limitations to connect the database. Okay. So we will see how to do a customized calculation. For example, there is no column in the table, so that we need to do a customized calculation. So we can do how to do a calculation, how to write a. So in Cognos, we don't want to write any lines of code. For example, in Java or any language, so we need to write lines of code to achieve our result. But here we already have the package. We can just drag and drop. And there will be only some places where we can write our small statements like if statement and case statement. For example, you can do some expressions. So we have some place where we can write our if statement, case statement in expressions, and all the functions, a lot of functions are available in Cognos. So we can use the existing function and we can achieve our result. So this is the thing. So we don't want to write a lot of lines of code to achieve our output. Okay. So we will see how to do a master detailed relationship, conditional perform, all the technical things set up like that, how to burst a report, what is a drill through, drill up, drill down, drill through, how to do implemented report. So report functions, validate, how to validate a report. For example, we have just considered that we have completed the report creation and we got the report out. So the main important thing is data should be correct. So how to validate the data? So we will have the report output, then we will go to the database and we will write a simple query and we will get the report output in the database. We will compare the output of the database of the report and we will do a data validation. So all these things we will be covering. So in reports today we have some one concept called active reports, which is a new thing in Cognos 10 series. Before Cognos 10 series we don't have things called active reports. So this we will also see how to create an active report and what are the advantages of the active report and what are the limitations and where it can be used and for which scenario this active report can be used. So in active report, the output of the active report will be saved in the browser in the XHTML format, HTML format. So that will help the report to be transported to a mobile device or I can view the report with all the interactivity without having internet connection, without connecting to the database. So that is the concept in active. So we will see all those things in Report Studio, and Report Studio we will be covering more in detail. So that's the logic here. Okay. Then we will go to Analysis Studio. This analysis. So normally in packages we have two types of packages. Relational package and dimensional package, DMR package. So relational package will help us, will be designed so that the relationship between the two tables will be created and the package will be published. Dimensional package is the one where we define the hierarchy level. For example, hierarchy in that sense, for example, if I take a time dimension, we have year, quarter, month, week, day. So this is hierarchy. So if these types of hierarchies are defined in the package, then we will say that as a dimensional package. So Analysis Studio, we can create reports using dimensional package. We will not be able to create reports using relational model, relational package. Okay. So when we go into the tool, we will see all those things in detail. So this Analysis Studio will help the end customer to do a quick analysis of the data. So what is the sales of this product in 2014? So what is the sales in 2015? 2015 first quarter, third quarter. So a quick analysis can be done using this tool. So that is the idea of Analysis Studio. So if you know Report Studio, Analysis Studio is very simple. So for example, similar to Query Studio, if you are not able to do complex things in Analysis Studio, then we can convert the existing Analysis Studio report to the Report Studio report and implement the complex logic in Report Studio and provide the output to the customer. Okay, so we will also see Analysis Studio in our course. Event Studio. So it is a very small part. So this is like a scheduling. It's not scheduling means, for example, the customer needs the report on every third of every month. Means we can schedule the report like a keeping an alarm. So you can schedule the reports on every third of every month, and the report will run and it will be sent to the customer. So that is the scheduling part. Event Studio is a place where we will create an event. For example, we will create a condition. If, for example, let us consider a real-time scenario, something like a production company, bicycle manufacturing company is having multiple departments, like a production department, inventory department, purchase department. So inventory, that is stores department, production department person will collect all the spares in the stores department and they will assemble it and they will produce the cycle. So if the quantity, some items are less in quantity, the production will be stopped. For example, the number of wheels is not available means we can't deliver the bicycle. So what we will maintain is in the database, if the number of quantity of bicycle is less than 100 means, then new cycle wheels should be ordered, should be purchased. So that will be the scenario. So what we will do is the event is if the cycle wheel is less than 100, then an email can be sent to the purchase department and ask them to purchase the particular spare parts and provide it to the stores department. So if the event is true, then we can implement multiple tasks. I can send a mail to the production department. I can run a report. For example, I have a vendor list, a supplier list. So I can run the report and I can attach the report and send it to the end customer, that is the purchase department. So depending upon the event, if the event is true, then I can implement multiple tasks. So this is the purpose of Event Studio. Okay. So it is the purpose of Event Studio. In most of in the development environment, you will try to do it, you will try to implement it, the logic. But most of the time in the production environment only, this will be used real time. So in the development environment, in the development during the report development, we will be just seeing whether this will be this is working fine or not. In the production environment, this will be used more than in the development. That's what I'm saying. Okay. We will also see other things in Event Studio. Then we will go to Framework Manager. Okay. So Framework Manager is a most important thing. So this is the first part of Report Studio. So maybe we can cover the Framework Manager first, or we can go to the last. So in my process, what I have done is I have taken the Framework Manager to the last part, because this is most important part, and also some knowledge of report understanding and the database understanding should be there to work on Framework Manager. So if you know Framework Manager, if you want to learn Framework Manager, you should understand the reporting requirement. So a Framework Manager modeler should be a person who understands the reporting requirement and as well as the database logics, database relationship, and also the complete business. So Framework Manager modeler will be having more knowledge about the business, about the database, and about the reporting requirement. So if we have all the knowledge, then only we will be able to create the proper Framework Manager package. That is the reason I have brought this Framework Manager topic in the last. Maybe not in the last, before after a few topics. So first we will understand what are the reports and how we are going to develop the reports. Then we will go to the Framework Manager package. Okay, so let me just open the Framework Manager package. That is the screen, and I will show you. So in Framework Manager, we will using a data source connection. So data source connection is nothing but the place where we have the database name and credentials. So when we connect to the database directly, it will not connect. We need to ask the username, password, all the database, data source, all those things. So we will have those things in the data source connection. That's the thing. That's a part of data. That's the work of a data source connection. Using data source connection, we will connect to the database. No Framework Manager. Okay, so let me just open quickly. Just hit open. So in Framework Manager, we will connect to the database. We will take the required tables for our reporting purpose. For example, there is a plan to create reports for only sales department. then I will take only the sales related tables and columns from that database, and I will use it in the framework manager. And I will use it in the framework manager. So this is the data source connection. Okay, there is some. Okay, so this is the framework manager screen. So here I can I can import the required tables and columns. I can implement the business logic, and I can create the relationship between the tables. If required, I can create a dimensional package where I can define the hierarchy in the framework manager package. I can group the required columns based on the subject area, and finally I can publish the package. So once the package is published, it will come to this Cognos connection. The package will be displayed like this. So this Go Sales Query is a package. So the package can be created in framework manager. So by connecting the data source. So data source can be a database or existing framework manager package or a cube or a T1 cube. So through framework manager we will get from different sources, and we will create a package, and that package will be used in the report. So framework manager is an important thing. So in my understanding, technically knowing framework manager is 50%, and another 50% is knowing the complete business logic, reporting requirement, database relationship, and the things in the database. So these all the things will help us to create a complete framework management model. Okay, this is the normal thing, but in real-time scenario there may be some differences. Using a single framework manager package, we can create hundreds of reports and multiple reports. So using a single properly designed framework manager package, we will be able to create almost all the reports for a concern, for a company. So in real-time scenario, there may be some shortcuts where we can create a simple framework manager and only few reports just about the framework manager package. So that is also in practical things. That is also going on. That is also in practice. Okay. So this is the framework manager is an important thing that we need to learn. And we will also cover these things in detail. So if the framework manager package is a good package, then all the reports will be working fine. If there is something wrong in the package, or if you update it, and if there is some loop or some performance issue in the thing, then it will affect all the other created reports created in the package. Okay. So after framework manager, we will see workspace and workspace advanced. Okay. So workspace is a place where we can create the dashboards. So dashboards in the mean I can implement multiple report outputs in a single page. So this is designed in such a way that it helps the end user and create the report easy, create the dashboard easy. So for example, I have already created few reports, and I want to. The manager is asking me, I want to see all the things in the consolidated page, the dashboard. So what I can do is I can go to workspace and I can create a workspace using the existing report. So already reports are there. So on the report development, we already created the report. Now I want to combine a few of the important components of the report, and I want to create the report. Means I'm opening the workspace. Here I can create multiple tabs. So okay, so assuming that I have multiple reports inside Report Studio folder, so maybe, for example, okay, revenue report. So I have a chart and I have a list report. I want to display the chart, just I can drag and drop. So likewise, I can do things here. Just I have created a simple, I have shown you a simple idea. So just I can, I don't want to see the list. I want only to see the chart, means I can use it. I can go to another report. And I can use another, okay, I don't want to have the chart. I want to see the list, means I can just see the list. So likewise, I can drag the required component from the report to the workspace so that it will display the value. So now I am to see the list and the chart. So like this, I can arrange all those things, and the dashboards look very neat and good. And different area, for example, the manager wants to see the sales, production, HR, attendance, all those things. Means I can combine all the things in a single dashboard, and I can show it. I can also create multiple tabs, all those things we can do. So existing report, we can create the workspace. You can also do some modifications. Maybe I will explain all those things during our sessions. You can have some property for wedges and also property for workspace. If I want to do some more additional changes, means I can go to workspace advanced. I want to do some advanced things in workspace, means I can open the existing reporting, do more. So when I just click on it, it will open the reporting. Workspace advanced. Workspace advanced is a, I can say it is a mini report studio. So report studio is a place where the report author or report developer will work on. So this is the where you can create complex reports. Whether report developer and report author, report Cognos professionals. Workspace Advanced is a place where the end user can create the simple reports. It is a replacement to Query Studio. And now it is a easiest version of Report Studio. You can say that. For example, just I am showing this, and I have a toolbox. There are a lot of tools here. Same way, if I go to Report Studio, I have a toolbox. I will go to page. Just I want to make you understand that what is the difference between Workspace Advanced and Report Studio. So you can see there are a lot of tools. So the tools, text box, table item, everything is there. But I can do a scroll here. A lot of tools are there in Report Studio. But in Workspace Advanced, I have only few tools. I don't have the scroll bar. I have only few tools which are easy for the end user to create the reports. Likewise, if you see the property also, only few properties are there in. So IBM has tried to make the tool simple so that the end user can also easily understand the things. You can see the property. So only few properties is there. But when I go to Report Studio, you can see the lot of properties. In the property window, you can see this is a property window. You can see a lot of properties. So if you know Report Studio and Workspace Advanced is a smaller mini report studio, smaller part of the report studio. That's it. So we will see some more. What are the difference? What is the difference, and what is the advantages of Workspace Advanced? Okay. Then we will go to after complete. These are the topics that we are going to cover. All these topics we will cover. After that, we will go with best practice and. For example, I can share my experience. I can share my real-time experience and what I'm working on, or I will take a sample of my project, one of my projects, and I will make you understand. I will try to explain that project. For example, how to get the requirement, how I got the requirement, what are the types of different modes of things that I got the requirement. Some customers will give the complete requirement with all the documents. Some customers just say this is the application. For example, they already have the reports in MicroStrategy and they want to convert it into a Cognos. Just they will give the access to MicroStrategy, and we need to understand the report requirement and the logic, all those things, and we need to create the report. In some places, the customer will give only the Excel output, and we need to find out the requirement and we need to create the report. So, from requirement gathering, then report development, peer review, unit testing, documentation for unit testing, all those things. What are the things I have experience, I will explain. So, and also we have something called coding standards. It is always better to follow some coding standards so that when we encounter any error in the report, it will be easy for us to identify the error in which place it is. For example, if they have some naming conventions, the error will show the name. This part is this name of the variable is showing the error. So we can just go directly there and we can fix it. So that coding standards we need to follow. I have some coding standards. We can follow some coding standards. It's not a strict rule to follow this coding standard. We can have a coding standard and follow it from our own. The customer is expecting something, then we need to give preference to the customer standards. Then we will, if there is no standard defined for the customer, then we will use our own standard. And also quality process. So that is like a peer review. Peer review means a person who a developer to developer review, technical person's review, a tester's review, unit test, all those things I will be covering. POC, proof of concept report. So how to create a report? For initially, before starting the project, the customer may ask, the customer may not be having the visualization of Cognos reports. So in that case, he may ask how the Cognos report will be. I have Excel. So can you create a POC for me, something like that. So in that case, what we can do, we can write a SQL and we can do it. For example, just I will show you a small thing. Maybe I have only another 10 minutes. Just I will show you a small screen about POC. Okay. So customer has given me three reports, something like this, just ABC customer. So I have created a proof of concept report. So this will be the report, and this will be the report output. So what I have done is here in this customer, I can write some dummy SQL. I can write the SQL, dummy SQL, sample SQL with sample records. Without connecting to the customer's database, I can manage to get the output using the SQL, and I can display the report in the format what the customer needs. So that this will help the customers to get the visualization of the report, and he will be able to freeze the requirement. Oh, no, this column is not required. So just I have written some SQL here, where I will get the values. I have hard-coded the values. So proof of concept. So this report can be done and can be implemented in the report stream. So this SQL will generate these values, all these values, all these columns. And when I run the report, it will not go to the database. It will have the values inside this SQL, and I will get a report. So the report like this, or else. So I have all the prompts. So you can see the values. All these things are dummy values. The values that are given to me. So just I can select it whatever I want. The customer, I can show this customer saying that this report can be done like this. This is possible, and I can have a search and select and search button. So can use it, and I can click on finish. So this is the prompt page. From here, I can explain the customer. This is the prompt page where the user will give the input, and the Cognos will get the data, and it will display the report output in such a way that I will get all these reports, something like this. So we can create a POC. This is the POC that I have created for my customer. So we can also create a POC. Process for the report development. So requirement gathering, clarification from the customer. Then we will go with the POC. If required, we can go with the POC. If the customer is already known to Cognos and he is well versed with Cognos, then we can go for a development, peer review, unit testing, then finally deployment to the test environment, and finally knowledge transfer to the support team. So we are the development team. Assuming that we are a development team, we can give the knowledge transfer to the support team on those things. And also I will share you the documents. So and the reference links. So we have a lot of things in the net. We have a lot of things in the IBM site. All the things are there. So I will share you the related things. So I will share, give you the reference, which are approximately, that is somewhat useful to us for our things. So I will also explain all those things in the session. And also I just want to show you one thing. I have a syllabus with some exercises. Just a minute. So I have a Word document where I will also share this document during the course. So this will have the detailed syllabus. So all the contents for a Cognos connection, I will cover all the topics. So these are the topics. If I have skipped anything, you can ask me. So I have not covered this drill through. I will cover it. So all the topics I will be there, and after completing each and every topic, I will be giving some exercises. For example, for Cognos connection, I have 10 exercises. So when you do these exercises, it will be like a practice. So you will be able to understand Cognos connection around 80%. I'm not saying 100%, around 80% you will be able to do. So that will make you somewhat like real-time experienced person. Not a, you can't equalize a real-time experienced person. You can say that a 6 months or 3 months experienced person, something like that. You can, doing this exercise will help you. When you do this exercise, you will also have some doubts. Certainly you will have doubts. Some topics I have not covered in the syllabus, these things, but it will be in exercises. It will somewhat related to real-time things. So when you do those things, that will help you to get some real-time basic real-time knowledge. That's what I'm trying to say. So for Query Studio, I have the exercises, the individual topic-wise syllabus, and also the exercises. The Report Studio, we have the topics, all the topics. I have the exercises. This is first set of exercises. Then we will have another set of exercises where we will see the real-time scenario. For example, I will give you the screenshot and you need to do the things. So if you, based upon your interest and based upon the time availability, you can just do the things. For example, I will give you the screenshot like this, assuming that this is the customer's requirement. So you need to implement this. It will be simple only. It will be simple only. It will not be that much complex as the rest. The real-time thing will be simple, but you will be able to understand that each and every logic with a combination. For example, in the while learning, we will learn in each and every topic separately. When we do a exercise, we will combine multiple logics, multiple concepts, and we will create a. So that is the idea here. Okay. Likewise, I also have exercises for all the topics. Framework Manager, Analyst Studio, Event Studio will have all the exercises for all the topics. So most concentration will be on a Report Studio. Okay, so that's the thing that I have right now. So if you have any questions, maybe you can just so I think I have consumed. I don't know now. So anybody is having any questions, or shall we wind up the session? Okay, so the duration will be around 25 hours to 30 hours. For example, let me show you the schedule. I will almost daily, day-wise schedule session. So the course will be starting on Tuesday, next Tuesday. Maybe this may be a different day. This will be a different date. So it will be around 25 days. 25, it will not 25 to 30 days. So based upon the practice and questions, there may be some small modification in that. 25 to 30 hours. That is what I can say. I will send you. I will also update this. I will also send you the course day, session-wise, day-wise plan. If there is any leave also, then it will extend. Okay, so that's all the things that I have in the demo session. So if you have any questions, maybe you can also ask me now, or else you can send a mail to mail, and I can get clarified. That's it for this demo session. Maybe Anuksha will be sharing Anuksha will be sharing the corresponding mail ID to you, and you can send the mail. You can contact, maybe Mohit or Mahendra will be giving you the email ID, and the course related schedule and other details. I will be handling that.